Hi, this is Yvette Barrios again for Bronco Day Online, and I've got James Ferguson here to talk to us about the program in the university. And James is actually one of the founding fathers of, I would say, the mechanical engineering program here at Boise State. So James, could you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, hi. My name's James Ferguson. I am an associate professor here in the mechanical and biomedical engineering department. I've been here at Boise State for about 23, 24 years now. I started in the fall of 1996, so I've seen this department grow from being very small, first graduating class of 4 students, to where we're graduating approximately 100 a year now. So there's been tremendous growth, which is very exciting. It was an exciting time to be here. Prior to my time here at Boise State, I worked for about 10 years overseas in Switzerland for a company that produced gas turbines. That was one of the main things they did. They did other things as well, but the division I was in was gas turbines. So yeah, I've had some practical experience, and I felt that was important before coming into a mechanical engineering program. So yeah, it was a fun time. Fun time.
Well, that's great. And we appreciate having you. Dr. Ferguson was one of my professors when I was a student. He was phenomenal. Uh, so tell
That's
me a
I do
little bit.
remember. Yes.
So tell me a little bit. What do you like about Boise and Boise State?
Boise and Boise State. The town of Boise is a small city or a big town, however you want to look at it. It offers many advantages in the sense that you have many of the things you see in larger cities, but yet it still has a small town feel. So you can go downtown and see people you know. You can walk around. It's, I think, one of the best places to live. It's perfect for me in the right size. I think it's great for a student. It's unlike being one of the land grant institutions where the town is wholly centered around the university. So it has some diversity. Boise State, exciting time to be here. The growth of the program I've mentioned a few minutes ago, but it's also a time when Boise State became nationally known, primarily through its football program, and that was exciting. It brought a lot of growth. Boise State, at least the mechanical engineering program, has a very student-centered focus. It's probably the strongest student-centered focus, one of the strongest in the university, I'm sure. So yeah, it's I think for a student, it's a great place.
Well, that's fantastic. And so why would you tell them to come to Boise State?
The education. Primarily, anybody who comes into a university should choose a university, I think, primarily based on the education that you're going to receive. And while I can't speak for other departments and programs in the university, I can say that the mechanical engineering program is definitely a strong one. It's as good as any program in the country, in my opinion. In the early days, the first 10 years, where the faculty-student ratio was a bit more advantageous, was great. We still maintain a lot of that through additional faculty and resources. Every university struggles when they start having the kind of growth that we did. But I think we've done a very good job maintaining a connection with our students and providing them with a good experience.
That's fantastic. And so now think back to your younger self. What advice would you give them as somebody who's just coming in as a freshman? Uh,
Yeah. What advice would I give a student coming in? Well, I think back to when I was first entering an engineering program. I was an undeclared engineering major. And I think specializing too early could be problematic. However, you don't, the engineering programs are structured that if you were to switch, say, from civil to mechanical or the other way around, the first couple of years of courses, there's enough overlap that you really don't lose any significant ground. So I would say think about what you're doing, why you want to be an engineer in the first place. I wanted to be an engineer because when I was growing up, my parents gave me a truck to, as long as I kept it running, I could use it. And so I tore the engine apart a bunch of times and put it back together, and still ran, which surprised me, and just generated my interest to become a mechanical engineer. So when you think back about what you like to do, if you like to work with your hands, if you like to figure out why things work, then I think engineering is definitely for you.
Well, that's great. I appreciate it. So do you have any other thoughts or things you want to share with the students for Bronco Day online?
Yeah. Yeah, I can say this. My engineering career has been very good to me. It has taken me around the world. Because of what I was doing and my career and the path it took, it brought me overseas. I was able to oversee work in different countries. I remember going to Moscow, Russia, and talking with engineers there. And I can remember being in the middle of Red Square, the Kremlin on one side of me, and the church, the old church on the other end of the square. Yeah, it's been a fantastic time. And I think the engineering opened all the doors for me. Otherwise, I'd still be where I grew up. So yeah, I think that interest in how things work and decent education opened a lot of doors. You can do a lot of things. Engineering has a place most anybody can be an engineer. The world needs all sorts of engineers, everything from sales engineers, commissioning engineers, design engineers, test engineers. It goes on and on and on. And you don't have to be the straight A student to be a good engineer. You can be a great engineer doing many different things. So yeah, I encourage people to come in and explore what that might mean for you personally.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And I hope the students that are watching this online appreciate it as well. And all I could say is go Broncos.
Yeah, go Bronco. Yeah, that's great. It's a good place.